The one thing about this episode, I noticed how fast-paced the battle was in the beginning. Like, you started immediately
Well, it kind of
battle at the start.
ended, and the whole thing was for her basically, I think, just like the magical girl was her whole point. She wasn't really, supposed to fight. That's probably why.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really action-packed as the first 2 episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was more exposition, which I could dock a few points for, because, exposition is important, but there is such a thing as too much exposition. I will say, this episode went by faster than I expected.
Yeah, I like animes that have a little
every time they bring up the drawing tablets and stuff, I just love it.
Yeah.
And also, I love how Sota is just so bland and generic, but he's supposed to be like us as a character. Like,
that's the thing. He's not a creator or anything. He's supposed to be like a fan of the series, basically. Yeah. Which he is, because he knows, like, at least Celicia and the white-haired girl. He knows at least the 2 of them.
Mitoa. One thing I thought about when watching this episode, when they were talking, I was thinking, like, maybe, like, the creators are, like, the Pokemon trainers, and the actual characters are the Pokemon. It's, like, the way they describe it, it's, like, the creators go into battle, and then, like, they send the creators after them.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I don't see it that way.
I love the amount of like teasing they have in this episode. Like they mentioned the whole anime versus manga thing, like how because there's a certain factor like because Celicia's character is mostly from the anime side of things. She wouldn't know stuff from the books. Like,
anything that happened, like the anime reached a certain point, anything that happened in the manga after the book, she wouldn't.
I love the amount of factors. I love the amount of factors. I love the amount of factors that they go into the whole like redesigning a character and like adding attributes and stuff. Like, are there certain factors? And they mentioned the impressions.
Yeah, changing the character to make them stronger.
They mentioned the impressions from both Murakochi and other creators as well, or Soto also mentioned it, but like that's going to be a huge factor as well. I can see that. I remember that much. At least I'm pretty sure I remember that much in the later episodes where that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have the public having influence on these characters.
Yeah.
I think for this episode, I'll give it like a 7 point.
Because I don't remember her saying
I'm going to give this episode 3 of Recreators 7.56 out of 10. It was all right. Not as much as the other 2, obviously, but yeah, it was getting there.
I'm going to give it a 7.1.